Eating is now streaming live on YouTube. Really? Show me. Says upcoming on my channel.
That's what mine. That's
but
what mine.
but but it's got you and me sitting there in the screening room. Go to the channel, check this out. This is funny as shit.
Let's see.
That's funny. Go to the channel, check this out. This is funny as shit.
Says you're live on YouTube.
Yeah. Load. Can you see it? You see the
Yeah.
feed?
Yeah, I see it.
It's funny as shit.
My Rumble didn't kick off.
Well, yeah, it came up and said you don't have permission for this.
What more do they need?
I think they don't. They think they got bugs. Exterminators need to come in, clean up this code crap. Um, and this is okay. Go live. You don't have permission to live stream. What do you mean I don't have permission to live stream? That makes no sense.
Got 15 viewers waiting on my Rumble.
I need to go to the apps. So why can't I start streaming from here? Zoom live streaming. Clear app data. No. I don't want you to clear any of the content. I want you to keep that. Start doing your work. Open in a meeting? Oh, okay. Take that. Oh. Hold on. Found something different. See what the fuck happens here. So I just, you know how it is in Rumble where you get the different channels you're going to stream to, and gives you a
Right.
list. Well, I've been accessing that list in the app, but then I saw an option that said open in message, and I went, what? So I clicked on that, and it gave me all of the three streams that we've got set up, and then all of a sudden the button said start streaming, and right now it's just kind of circling itself, trying to catch its ass. But I've never seen this before. This is different. When I put the key in, the information in the link for Zoom, that's where it said you don't have permission to stream. I'm like, you're talking to the king streamer here. Okay, I am known as Superstream.
Yeah, so it's saying you're YouTube and live on host. Whatever that means.
Where do you see that?
Up at the top where it says active streams, it says 2.
Uh,
What it says on the top of mine anyway.
yeah, I've got. Well, that's the live stream. This is the apps. Recently opened, yes, the live streaming. So it's sitting there and it's still turning its little self and doing the hokey pokey. But Geezer's Rumble and Nexus Rumble and my YouTube are all selected, and it's just having a big old think about it.
Ah, yeah, I don't know what. It's weird.
Yes,
Anyway, so
also,
I guess our rumbles aren't working, huh?
it doesn't seem that way. Um, it's certainly. Uh-oh, we're live on Geezer Geeks.
Are we?
Rumble.
All right.
We're live on Geezer Geeks.
Are we?
Rumble.
All right.
So are we? Yep, we're still live on mine. Yep. I guess I got to check my. Hold on here. I've got too many of me going.
Ah,
Let's see. Yeah, okay. So let me check. So come on, Zoom girl. You're working. You're working it. If you got all three of them, we're gonna give you a big old wet one. Nope. There we go. And look at that. We're live on the Nexus Rumble too.
All right.
Well, shit howdy, as they say out there somewhere. I think we have achieved in what I guess the spinning thing where it has the different feeds is doing its thing, and I don't need to sit there and look at that. So I'm going to close your ass and I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm going to look for how come we don't have a chat going on here?
I did pop outs of everything.
No, I mean in Zoom, we had that feature, remember?
Oh,
There it is. Okay, here's the chat. Okay. But this is not going to get any of the feed chats. Let's see.
yeah, this is only for people who's in the live stream.
Or in the studio.
Yes.
So I don't see a chat on my YouTube channel. I just see the feed.
I said hi to Jennifer in your YouTube chat.
How come
Not your I don't have your Rumble up.
how come I don't see the chat? Oh, there it is. Now it's coming up. Well, thank you very much. Sometimes you got to refresh the and poke them to make them do your bidding. Okay, so I kind of I'm still, sorting around our new digs here in the screening room. And yeah, I'm finding it could have a lot of applicability in different things in different ways, but one thing I think people will probably have a tough time with is being, on a show in the screening room is they don't all be little like us.
All right.
There wouldn't be, um, the FaceTime.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, Jennifer, you are number one tonight. That's awesome. Oh, the little pleasures in life, right? Those little like, oh, that was nice. Thank you very much. So very cool. Well, I don't know, what's your thoughts on the screening room here, Jero?
Yeah, I'm liking it, especially when we start getting doing some presentations but so far it's coming out really well. If I can
Yeah,
get
I'm
my
glad.
head to stay in focus.
I got to get my. I'm trying to keep my head from. See, I'm losing. Oh, there's my glow. Peek. Very cool. Well, I think we can probably get into screening some screens,
Yeah,
right?
that's right. That's what we're
Come
here
on,
for.
right? We gotta screen it to see if screen it and wean it.
Now when I pop out the chat, I had mine up, and then when I popped out your chat in Rumble, it took my chat and Rumble away and put it back where it was. So I can't have more than one pop out evidently on.
Can you put them on different monitors or?
Well, it just automatically replaced one with the other and it put it back in so I can have the live view up and be in yours. So I don't know.
So yeah, Gene was mentioning in my Nexus Rumble that there was a little bit of a delay, but now it seems to have resolved itself.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, it's probably was cycling.
yeah, but to get so we got two Rumble and a tube.
Yep.
Hmm. Well, isn't that nice when the bidding goes our way? Or did I say beating or bidding?
Well, that's yet to be determined, I guess.
Yeah, this is gonna have to beat this thing into submission. So, oh, that's the one with no chat. Okay, now I got it. Now I see what's going on here. Hey, Clay. Clay's probably looking at us going, what are these two up to now?
Yeah, what are they doing now? Every week it's something different.
Yeah, it's like, are you gonna, am I gonna have to go chase something else? Let's see what you guys are doing.
This is probably the format for now that we're going to, if we present live videos or do some screen sharing. Otherwise, it'll probably be Rumble or I don't know. I guess it's yet to be determined, I guess. I don't know.
Well, for the Saturday night free for all, the free wank on Saturday nights is Rumble's the only one that we can get as many on for as long as we do to all the places we go.
Right.
So and the video quality is fine. In fact, it's right up there with Zoom, which is what we're using now. But StreamYard and well, I think you could probably make one of these in StreamYard as a background, and then you can do the positions. Yeah, you could probably
Yeah,
do that.
probably.
But um,
It's kind of nice just to click on it and just be there, though.
yeah, that is. So the question is, do we look like students or judges in our seats
Sis- Siskel and Ebert.
here? Was it Sattler and Waldorf,
Yeah.
the Muppet dudes? I loved those guys. They were like, oh, I could so be doing that. And that was, decades ago. And now I are doing that. Funny as shit. Okay, so let's see if we can light up this screen. What do you think?
Yeah, let's try it.
Um, do that, do this, do that. Live streaming is on a meeting, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I don't need that. Do you see the screen?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So now I need to go back to, where's my view here? There we are. I want that over here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So I thought it would be kind of cool to go tripping around the local space that, we seem to inhabit with a bunch of other, you know, things, bodies of dirt and rock and stuff. Because there's a lot of shit going on out there. And it's interesting when you have a perspective of looking out from a different when you have a different perspective. Let me rehitch that, and you're able to look at something with a different perspective. And sometimes having that holistic view, or that back way the hell up and look down at whatever the hell's going on, you get a little more perspective. So this tool is just like way too awesome. And a lot of the data that's been updated, especially at the street level, is like really amazing. And it's getting out all over the place. But when you look at all this stuff, look how much water there is,
And there's water underneath the land,
right?
aquifers and lakes and everything underneath, even the land masses.
There's been a couple of studies where they say that there's more water in the earth than there is on the earth.
Yeah, how's that possible? That makes you wonder, huh?
Makes you wonder. Hmm. And since we're looking at this and talking about that, I will just go ahead and drop my own little pushback on the perspective of the planet and the core of the planet. The standard model is that it's a molten iron of some type, some composite. And it's molten and it spins, and that's what creates our geomagnetic field and the quote unquote gravity. Well, I got a lot of questions about that, and so do many others.
Yeah. So supposedly we got different layers or shells that rotate opposite of each other and
Float on, slide around, bump in, and all of that. But I think one of the clear, and Neil Adams does a great video series on this, one of the clear things that is not considered in the current planetary physics is the expansion of the planet. Because Neil Adams just does a beautiful, in fact, I should probably bring that up, a beautiful animation of going back in time and all of the continents all being fitting together, and how a lot
fitting
just
together.
perfect. There's no math magic in it. It's just you take the forms and you back it up and you go, oh, look at that. Look how that comes together. So the idea that we're actually on an expanding Earth, not a static one, completely is not, first of all, it's not addressed by the current planet cosmology and physics, but it doesn't explain any of, well, how come there's all these things that seem to be one way at one time and now they're much further apart? The
Yeah.
so if the planet is expanding, how could it expand? Can it expand from a spinning ball of molten iron? That doesn't, in any of the physics we know, that doesn't explain creation and continued more matter, more mass. What it most likely is a plasma ball. And
Oh,
the entire core is actually a giant concentration of plasma. And that plasma in its natural state is constantly morphing more of itself. It's the fifth level of energy, or the fifth category of energy that their current science holds on to. It goes, well, then there's this thing called plasma.
yeah.
But when you look at the characteristics of plasma, and then you look at and you match what its nature and habit and attributes are, and then you apply that to what we see in what's clearly been an expanding globe that we live on, eh, odds are that plasma is in the lead for the probability. So anyway, I wanted to drop that because that's one of the things that people are very challenged to even consider, let alone say, well, it could be true, but not. You're nuts. We can't believe anything you're saying. Oh, look here. Oh, there is the butt of the planet,
Uh-oh.
Australia. I wonder if B's out there.
Somewhere.
He's down in there somewhere. I thought he said he's around Perth, right?
Yes, Perth.
Um, isn't that's down here, wasn't it? No, is it up?
It's only 10 a.m. there. He should be up and about.
Yeah. Or he's probably just moaning and groaning and looking for his Jack Daniels and Dr. Pepper or whatever the hell
Oh, yeah.
it is. um, I don't. Where the hell's Perth? I thought
Right
Perth
over
was.
there where you're at somewhere.
Is it
It's
up
right
north?
on.
I thought it was south. Brisbane,
Oh,
Sydney, Melbourne.
zoom in just a little bit more.
I guess I could just type it in, right?
Right.
Isn't this technology shit really cool? Oh, there it goes. Oh, yeah, it
Oh,
is
it's
in
on,
south.
it's on a complete other side. Yeah.
Well, no wonder they've got him out there. They put him on the other side of the continent.
Where's that little island right there? They probably could have put him on.
Yeah. Let's see what we got here. They got a big old, looks like kind of a lake river feed system coming in.
Should do Google Streets and see if we can go by his house.
Yeah, we'll show the world his place on Google Earth.
We'll dox him right here.
That's right. You're gonna get doxxed, buddy. See, you can't mess with these Yankees up here, you wankers.
That's right.
Let's go down and see if we can get down on one of these beaches. Can I get whoa. So this is street view for something that doesn't have a street view. And it tried to interpret the data and do that. No, well, yeah, yeah, exit that shit. And we're down in the trees. So let's go downtown here and let's go some where there might be some street view, like maybe in here. Let's go see what these wanks, how they live. Whoops, hold on.
Oh,
Well,
there we go.
Well, these guys growing a bunch of poppies over here? What's that?
Illegal.
Mm-hmm.
You never know what they do down under.
Well, that's why they keep it down under. Nobody wants to see or know that stuff. That's trippy. Look at that.
Yeah, I got a little warping going on.
Yeah. What are they doing with palm trees down there? They must have imported them from my home state of California.
Yeah, look at that.
This thing here is kind of impressive.
Looks like a giant bush that went out of control.
Yeah, this bush got its bush on. It exercised full bushage.
Ah, oh boy.
The bushage was engaged. So how bizarre and cool and terrifying is this? Wait a minute, I thought I saw some old guy look like B.
That'd be hilarious.
So, yeah, let's exit the street view. Nice neighborhood. Looks like they, got a little respectable stuff going on down there.
Somebody's got a boat out there in their driveway.
Yeah, they do.
Looks like the SS Minnow.
All right, let's zoom back out here. So let's see if I can do another location down there. Take me there, G. Come on now. Take me.
There we're going.
So Alice Springs is out in the middle of BF nowhere.
Right in the middle of the outback. Hey, let's just put something here.
Why do you think they'd pick that spot, given the terrain? What's
Gold? I don't know.
something there? Because it's literally out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Maybe it's their Area 51. We're not supposed to know about it.
Well, it's got a lot of speculation going on about it, but this one is why. That's what I thought. Okay. That's why I was thinking about Alice Springs being, I thought it was out there next to the big stuff. Oh, hell, it surrounds it. So there's our joint corporate government high tech listening and surveillance and data gathering place. So Alice Springs being just up the mountain here. Let's see if, no, Well, uh, White Gums is out by Pine Gap. Okay. Yeah, so there's
There-
Alice. So everybody that works here lives over here. Yeah, they got, I can,
How do they get up the mountain to it though? I don't see any major roads going up to it.
looks like it's this road here.
Ah, okay. I bet that's a fun road.
Looks like it might take four wheels. I don't think I'd do it on two.
Is there a helicopter pad in that place?
I'm sure there is. Be kind of crazy not to have at least accommodations for it, right?
Right.
Well, you could certainly land a helicopter there, and anywhere over in here
Right.
is a utility. It looks like this is would be
Does
the
look like there's a lot of roads though going up to it,
yeah.
different places. So
Looks like a transistor chip dropping some data right there in the matrix.
now are those radars, those big domes, or are those actually tanks? Oh, that one's a
Oh no,
circle ball. That's definitely a radar.
this is all um, spectrum wave telemetry. They're listening, looking, sensing, picking up, snooping, grabbing, letting it come. All of that's going on in those things for sure. And then they have all these little ones that are, managing other stuff. God knows what and how much fun would it be to have a few minutes to play with those toys. Show me what this
Yeah.
does. Well, this one we listen to all of this and they don't know it. No shit. But yeah, that's when is this from? Where's the date on it? 1985.
What?
Google.
Yeah,
What
what's it really look like?
what you hiding? Yeah, so that's basically 40 years ago.
Wow.
I was gonna say the towers in this image they don't look like up to snuff for what you would think that they would, or and some of the representations in movies. There's a series called Pine Gap. I think it was either Amazon or Netflix, and it was about the people that work at this place. It was a whole thing, which was blew my mind. I'm like, so you guys are doing a story on the premise of a place that's top secret, but you're doing a whole series about the people who work there and how it runs and the shit that goes down. Alrighty, well that sounds okay.
Yeah.
Not sure I understand the reasoning there, but go with it. Good show. So yeah, they that's the one thing about the data sources that you have access to is now we've got all the challenges of trying to figure out, how real it might actually be. Look at that, right in the middle of the continent.
Wow. And all the green happening places are all on the outskirts, not right there in the middle of the
Yep,
mountainous desert range.
very interesting. And then here's one of my favorite anomalies. Let me go back here. Here, go this way, come up, go down, come over, and let's do this, and then take a look at this. What do you think when you see that?
Looks like a snake head right in the middle of the two.
Does it
Looks
look
like
like
we got
one?
some ice. To me, anyway, the first thought was we got too much ice going on so close to a hot tropical place.
Okay. So the first thing I look at, or first thing I see when I look at that is what did that? It looks like something came in and took these look like they were probably connected at
Together.
some point, and something came in here and just rooted out that connection and curved as it moved and then stopped, like some kind of um, like a comet or an asteroid, something that was big enough to cause that kind of a gouge. Because it looks like that doesn't look to me, my point is, as a natural occurrence. Everything else in and around it looks like the way it was as it expanded and got separated. But something
Right.
came in here and said, "Well, I'm going to put a little dent in this bad boy." I mean, it looks like a thumb, from one perspective, but
How could it go? How could it come from down south and curve around? See how you see that hole?
yeah.
Unless that's just the depth, unless that's just the depth of the ocean, or
What are you talking about this here?
no, the bottom part. It looks like it all came down from the bottom and then curved all the way around to wipe that out.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. That's just weird, but it's there, and there is no explanation for it. The geological sciences, they're still arguing about tectonic plates and molten levels of magma and stuff, and if they changed the way they thought about the core and the construct to a plasma model, they'd be able to explain a whole bunch of shit and a whole bunch of stuff they wouldn't have to explain because it would just be, oh, that's why that is. And there's not enough of, oh, that's what it is, because there's too much shit in the way of getting to what the hell it is,
Right.
I think.
So if you're talking about the molten core, the biggest thing on the internet right now is people questioning if we have a molten core that's so hot, why is the bottom of our oceans that's the closest to the center of the earth so cold? The deeper you go in the ocean, the colder you get. But the center of our earth is molten metal that'll burn your face off.
Right? It's the kind of stuff that makes you go, all right, I'm really open to a whole bunch of speculation because that's all it is anyway, and that's what you're going to get. Um, but serve it up and, provide as much um, of the background of how you, as you analyze the information, came to the conclusion you reached. Hey, Max, thanks for coming. I see you there in the chat. Pfizer plant, yeah. Yeah. So, it, when you look at the construct of the way that nature actually seems to be working through its characteristics, its attributes, its habits, its nature, there's fluctuations within each one of them, but they have a base construct of conduct and the way that they do their thing because they're drawn to it because of the frequency set that is what they are from and the frequencies that draw them to their continued motion forward or continued movement and how that movement unfolds because that's the way the frequencies work. And I want to get into that. I'd like to try to stay out here floating around the planet because we got another planet or two we'd like to get to as well. But I find that little thing kind of like, or there looks like something happened there. What do you think? And
Right.
then there's the granddaddy of secrets, mystery and otherwise, the Antarctica, the
Antarctica.
place of crazy stuff. And there are some. I wish I'd picked up some of the. There's a bunch of people who have done great research on finding anomalies down here, and they've got some great Google coordinates where you can go in and look at some of these things. You go, what? Would have been nice if I drug out a couple of those. But let's see. There. Let's see what's going on here. See what kind of resolution we're going to get.
Probably not very good in the parts they don't want you to see.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, there's plenty of parts to see that they don't do that to. And you go, hey guys, you missed one.
Now, I don't know if it was fake or not, but I saw a video the other day of somebody used something called Google Sky or yeah, Google Sky.
Mm-hmm.
And they zoomed in on Antarctica somehow and they saw like the bases and they were labeled. But I didn't go to it and I couldn't find anything else except for that. So I don't know if it was just a fake story or
Well, there's all kinds of that, at least in my experience. I'm seeing all kinds of shit going. I'm not sure. Is that sharing? Why am I? Are you seeing the background?
it looks like snow mountainous range on Antarctica.
Oh, okay. Now I've got it. I'm sorry. I'm checking one of the other feeds, and the screening
They're
room didn't
behind.
have the shit going on. I said, wait a minute, what's going on? Now I see the shit. Okay, we're good. That does look kind of cool, actually. Just imagine what we could do if we were, doing some kind of investigative journalism and said, now we're going to present some facts to you that you're probably going to go, nah, or
Yeah.
or no way. I mean, come on, really? And yeah, yeah, because those are the ones that are the coolest. Those are the ones where you go, but it looks like here on this, what's going on here? Is there some kind of
Yeah, that's a
flow?
pretty big gap there too, isn't it?
Yeah,
Some kind of impression right there.
some kind of a flow going into something there. Looks like this was probably connected and something has separated it. Possibly, I don't know. There's way too much fun in there, and we can do a whole show on Antarctica, but I'm going to try to show something that I found several years ago and I went, are you kidding me? Because it lined up very nicely with my thoughts of Devil's Tower.
Oh,
There is, I am 98.9% sure that Devil's Tower is a ginormous petrified tree. And all the geologists and all of the folks, and yeah, I hear that, I see what you're saying, but when you look at that, what you're saying it is doesn't show up. It's not what you see.
right.
Plus, what happens is when you discount one, you tend to discount all of them. So the whole idea of the history of ginormous trees that were a mile and a half in the base and a mile or so high or even more, ginormous. There's
And
evidence for that all over. What was that?
there's a lot more of that too that you see all across the world that look like petrified trees, and they're saying they're plateaus and all this stuff. And it's like I see some rings and some signs of what look like they could be bark.
So this is, I have, yeah, I don't have it in this version. I had it marked or pinned in the previous version, and I don't have it in here. So I'm going to have to poke around for this just a bit. But what you'll see is unmistakable. It's and not just um, the stumps, the trunk, not just that. What you can see in this is you can see the limbs of these ginormous trees, and they'd fallen and then created little ravines around the tree. So they left their impression. Um, there's, I wish I had the market somewhere in here. You'll start seeing it looks like giant trees just laid down. Let's see what we got in here. And the stumps, what's this? No, that's not one. These are the the images that I have. The size, the height is like 80 feet, and it's just flat and this ginormous stump, and you can see the rings. And then as you zoom out, and it's like 800, 900 feet wide, some of them a mile, and you go, what? And you can see how the foliage from the tree landed around it and created impressions. So they're like little branches and tributaries and so forth. But I mean, look at that. Does that not look like a giant fern or something?
Yeah.
Um, I know that there's really want to find one of these, so bear with me. But look at the diversity of this terrain. It's like very different. And it just keeps going from one different terrain and texture to another, but it's all kind of like flat and bushy. At least that's my perspective here. Let's see. Oh, I wish I could find one of these because they're just fascinating. See if I've got it from one of my databases and put it in the description. Because when you look at it, you go, well, all right, explain this one, Lucy. Show me how that is made by the math you use.
Right. Yeah, how does that make sense?
It's like there's something down here. That's some kind of, yeah, some, I mean, look how it looks like kind of like one of those stained glass window painting kind of things with a bunch of chunks.
Yeah.
Ah, damn it. Well, it is when I put the link in, and maybe we'll revisit this next time we do a Geezers Goes Global. Um, these things are just amazing. And that you had to get into one particular area, and then you could find a bunch of it just floating around in there. I went, no, yeah, really? Is there some down in here, maybe? Some very cool terrain down there. And Madagascar is one of the places like Australia that's got all of its own unique, strange shit that you don't find anywhere else. And you look at B, right? Where are you going to find
Right.
stranger shit than that? You have to go to Perth, Australia to find that crazy shit.
So I saw something before we go off planet. I saw something the other day that asked a question, considering all land mass, what is the furthest U.S. eastern state? Considering all the U.S. land that are states.
See, and I knew this, and it's not what you think it is
Right.
because it pokes out. Um, is it the Virgin, not the U.S. Virgin Islands, but they're not a state. That's a territory.
Right. It's Alaska, the little chain of islands that go off crosses the meridian right there. So it becomes east and west. So the further east you go on a map, you'll come across to Alaska. That's part of the eastern hemisphere. Then it goes to the western hemisphere with the rest of the US and Alaska.
Well, that would make it the farthest west, not the farthest east, right?
No, but when you go east, the first thing you come across to before you cross that line is the chain of islands off of Alaska. That's part
Oh,
of the
I
US
see. Yeah.
territory.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see it. Yeah, you're right. I got it. So,
It's kind of a, it's, I mean, it's not really, but it's kind of a neat little quirk.
right. So we have an interesting inhabitory ball of stuff that I mean, that, look at that. There's a pathway to inner Earth. There
There
is
it is.
no, and you think about it and you go, well, if the bottom here is basically at the bottom and it's just covered with frozen H2O, why isn't the top? Not only, I can understand not having the ice from, being supported by a landmass, but there ain't even any land there. So why isn't that just frozen and shit? What's going on there? And why is the
Yeah.
magnetic pole racing mercilessly across right now, heading over to East Siberia or West Siberian? I mean, it's just making a mad dash across there. And the South Pole has come off. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, back here. It's come off, and it's going to end up over in here at its current course and speed. So you have a South Pole here, and you'll have a North Pole over here, and they won't be symmetrically spaced. They will be that concentrated in that side. At least that's the way it looks. And that's some like excuse me Lucy kind of shit. But why is
Well,
that just why is Greenland always covered,
right.
right? And these islands here, all the Baffins, and this is the Hudson Bay, yeah. This is where the legends of like Hyperborea, all up in here, Phrygia. In fact, Hyperborea was on a lot of the maps, the ancient Piri Reis map and Oranius Phineas, and a whole bunch of the maps from that time had this place somewhere in here that was some magical land of fools and fiefs.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of shit that happened historically, according to the records up in this area. And then, of course, you have the mother lode of the Atlantean component and the Azores, right? Let's see. Yeah. So right in here, let's see if we can get this dialed in. Come on.
Because right in between those two continents, you got the ancient thing of Atlantis, like you said, possibly, and another ancient writings of Lumeria.
Right,
Lumerians?
right. Check this out.
That's what I like. The Eye of Africa.
Mm-hmm. What is going on here?
Looks like Pluto's description of Atlantis to me, but what do I know?
It does look like some kind of posterior orifice in pucker mode.
And it had it, you can see that it had access to the ocean, so that'd be a straits that they talked about where you go into it.
Look at the spillage that's clear from this movement, or a movement of what appears to be spillage. Um, all of this looks like something came down and just pushed a bunch of stuff down, right? And out.
Right.
And there has been some studies of the sediment has been tested under the ocean here on the coast, and they came up with all kinds of anomalies that didn't make any sense for what they expected. But this whole Saharan, all of this was completely different just a few thousand years ago. This was lush and green, and there was rivers and lakes and streams and shit all over the place up here. So
So
some,
just so just like Greenland used to be green all the time, and
right?
so I mean, so obviously the pole shifted one way or another to change everybody's seasons or atmosphere or however you want to say it.
So when you look at the climate, right? When you look at these oddball stuff, Greenland used to be green, Antarctica used to be tropical, Sahara used to be lush and lovely. Well, those are some pretty drastic changes, I would say, to three major areas around the planet that we have empirical evidence for. Can we explain what happened and why? That's got all kinds of speculation on it. The obvious fact is that something drastic happened to three different places, and it looks like they're probably around the same timeline or time frame. But that's some pretty vast changes right there. I mean,
I mean, just like now they're speculating that that big crevice going through Africa is going to get huge and become part of a strait, the
right.
straits of the ocean going right through Africa.
That's over here in it's I think it's Ethiopia. It is ooh, the Rift Valley, not the Rift Valley, I think is what they call it. Yep, in Kenya.
Kenya.
Take us there. Yep, it was close. There it is. So this is the Rift Valley itself. Took us to the town. Yeah, Mount Kenya, right. So this whole thing, whoa, the rift, I think this is the rift here. It runs up and this just spreading. How do I get rid of roads? Turn off the fucking roads.
Uh,
Uh, show sunlight. Oh, well, that's what it looks like there now.
oh,
Um, hello. Recorded tour. No, 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 no. All right, yeah, and there's Lake Victoria. So this whole area, this is very similar to the Middle East, which is not far away, right? This whole
right.
Mesoamerica or Mesopotamian and this whole Arabian Peninsula, this whole region, Turkey, all of the Black Sea and the Baltics, all of this has got a long history of people getting pissed at each other and throwing shit at each other and trying to take each other's shit. And I'm not sure what the relevance of that is, but it is a fact. So yeah, we've got a very interesting um,
Look at all
place,
that space out there, though. It doesn't have land mass.
right? Look at all that.
No matter which way you turn it, there's like big, huge spaces that we don't occupy. Well, as far as we know, look at that. Just think of everything you could put in there.
There's more room out there to do stuff from a water perspective than there is on the land. And even though, we've got a lot of people, this whole overpopulation bullshit is just bad math. People who can't think and do critical reasoning and analysis. Simple.
Well,
You look
just
at this.
just the US alone doesn't have overpopulation. Now we do populate major segments of the metropolitan areas, but look at all the space that's empty that we don't have.
Well, it's concentrated inhabitants.
You got
The majority.
Chicago, New York, and
Yeah, you got people that are packed into places, and I don't care what your better reasoning, altruistic attitudes, or whatever are. When you cram a bunch of people into a small space and expect them to all get along, you either better have a lot of control or just you're nuts, because that's not how humans function well. Especially when you got to tell some of them to, you have to do this so that we can accommodate that and them. It's like, well, I have to do what?
right.
So that somebody can do what? So
I don't
somebody
think
else
so.
has access to the same and all of that, but I got to give up mine to. Wait a minute, there's a problem in your model somewhere. So anyway, and I mean, what about all this vast land up in here? Canada's rocking with the open spaces. And while they do grow some stuff in the south and, pump resources in the form of abiotic oil, which is oil is not from fossils. It's not a fossil fuel. It's a natural liquid that's created by the processes of the planet. And it is constantly being replenished because that's what it's a part. It's you think of oil as kind of like in a sense, of blood of the earth. It's an essential part of the way the planetary physics work, especially if you add that our core is a plasma. It's plasma energy. It's a plasma model. What does that do? That creates things like processes which create things like, I don't know, oil, water, atmosphere, nitrogen, all the gases. That's how all that stuff, it comes from that. So all of this other stuff about you got to conserve resources, great line, wrong reason. Conserving is understanding how it works and respecting that cycle of replenishment and not abusing it. But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be using it. It's like stop. Think, please, for the
So
sake of the
another
rest of us.
another time anomaly is right between Alaska and Russia. If you zoom in between there, right in between the two, there's two
Right here.
small islands. Yeah, zoom in as far as you can in between there. There's two small islands.
These here.
Supposed to be. Yeah, there's supposed to be two small islands right there, two little land masses. So the one closest to Alaska is U.S. territory, and the one closest to Russia is Russia territory. And right in between them is a date line. That's what starts their day. So there's 2.5 hours, 2 hours to get between island and island. But time wise, it's almost 20 some hours if you go by the watch or the clock.
Well, they clearly don't want us to zoom in too close to that.
So yeah, the little one closest to the US is US territory and the other one's Russia.
Very
So
cool.
I mean 2 hours difference between Russia and the US right there as far as on the water as the crow flies, but Dateline it's almost 20 some hours because it starts over right there. Almost 24 hours, I guess you'd say. I don't know.
Well, that's where it changes from one day to the next.
Yeah,
So um is that a midnight to morning
I'm not
time?
sure. All I know is when that New Year's Eve we went across the whole United States celebrating each midnight across. We didn't intentionally did it, but that's how it ended up, and we got right to there.
Nice. Well, I
It's like
gotta tell you,
where'd all these time zones come? I kept finding more and more. It's like, where's all these time zones coming? I never even heard of this one.
I
It's right before you get to Russia. So then that's why that chain of islands that's actually part of Alaska becomes part of the Eastern Hemisphere instead of the Western Hemisphere. Because of that line it goes right through there. That meridian, I guess would it be meridian?
yeah. So that's
Yeah.
what that is, right?
Yep.
I think.
Or an airport. I don't know what that
Yeah,
is.
I was gonna say it looks like a runway.
Ah, ain't that kind of weird though? Why? How can that can't be
Yeah,
a runway? It's in the middle of the ocean.
it's got to be some kind of artifact, but it looks the same color as the
Yeah,
surrounding under the islands.
real shallow.
Maybe that's where the zipper is for Earth.
Oh,
That's kind of funky. Wow. Trey,
what a
cool.
weird, what a weird planet, eh?
There's a lot of interesting things on this thing, and
What is that? That looks like another planet.
what's going on? That's the North Pole. It's like, are you guys trying to hide the opening or something? It looks like something out of a Marvel movie.
Looks like something I'd see in the sky when they took a picture of a planet like Mars or
Whoa, whoa. That's supposed to be the ocean. You gonna let us in?
nope.
What the fuck? Hold on here. I want to do uh oh, there it is. So that's supposed to be, wait a minute. Come back up here. So that should be looking at the horizon of the bottom.
Oh,
So wait a minute here. If I go back out. So we went into the water right there. And that is what the imagery is under the water. If I take, oh, I go up here. if that's the bottom, then we should see the horizon. Ooh, and now scoot across it. This is kind of interesting and bizarre. So let's go back out here. See it moving?
Yep.
Um,
Or at least that's what they're portraying it as doing.
right.
That's just like the other day I found out that uh Android phones, Samsungs, you can take a picture of any bright circle, and if you zoom in on it, it'll show you a picture of the moon because they tried to say that their cameras were so good that you can zoom into the moon and get a great picture. Well, they faked it. So every time you zoom into the moon, actually with a Samsung Android, you're not really seeing the moon. You're seeing a digital image that they have Google or whatever is provided for you to see. So if you take a bright light off across the side of your room and you start zooming in on it, it thinks it's you're zooming in on the moon and it'll put a picture of the moon on that.
It's kind of interesting because, they do shit like that that makes you go, uh, why'd you have to go do that? That doesn't make any sense.
So it almost makes me think, so instead of blurring things out on Google Maps, why don't they just show us something of an image that they want us to see instead of just blurring it out? I mean, they could have done that from the very beginning. Just show, well, see, there's nothing here. It's just houses and a factory and whatever right over Area 51, and nobody would have cared.
And you look at it and you go, I'm trying to figure out why you would make some stuff unavailable and other things like blatantly available, and you go, did you really want to show that? Because now there's even more questions.
Yeah,
Um, because you're not. It's the kind of thing that the information becomes um, intriguing, generating curiosity for your own what the hell, right?
right.
Um, because everybody, I don't know, I do know, but I'm just going to speculate that the majority of people are having these constant immersive experiences of, basically what the fuck moments. And this kind of falls into that category right here. It's like, well, what the fuck is that? What are you
Right.
doing? And why can we zoom into it apparently and go all the way to the bottom and look at horizon on the bottom under the water? Because there's a lot of places on Google Earth you can't do that. Um, but I mean, does that look like a plug?
It's definitely different than the rest of the area.
Something be going on there. So this beautiful blue-green globe that we inhabit our tiny little spaces on, that we live our lives within, and we look around at each other, bump into this and crash into that, and go grab some of this and lick on that. This is the place we do all those things.
So you were showing that picture where it looked like something came through and carved out a pathway. Why didn't it do it from North and South America? Why didn't something come through there and stop that land bridge?
Well, maybe it just wasn't its time. Maybe whatever that was, and I think it's a paraboloid strike. The bolide that come in and just, and it's interesting because it looks like, let's go look at it real quick before we move on to the next planet. When you look at this, it's interesting to me that it seems to be, it's not deep, but it's definitive. I mean, something took this and moved it out here and took it from the same place down here and pushed it.
Right.
Uh, so a bolide, a decent size, I mean, Tunguska kind of thing, the Yucatan meteorite. I mean, but this thing looks like it came in sideways and it was kind of a glancing blow kind of thing. Because if it was more of a direct impact, I think it would, leave a more traditional looking obloid like a crater. But this is like a side swipe, and it just kind of skidded in, like, sliding into home, and it took out that piece on the way and pushed everything around it because it's not deep or it doesn't look like it's deep. It's
Well, it's
just
deep right in between the two continents, but then it looks like the land mass that it pushed away is where the shallow is, because the
right.
dark blue is the deepest, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Then a light blue. So it looks like they just shoved all that land mass out away. Then the rest of it's a pretty deep trench right there, kinda.
And you can see the crustal fissures underneath,
Yeah.
right? What's kind
Then
of
you got
interesting
then you
is
got that.
these. So right at the end where this thing ends, each one of these is, and it's like, what is that going on there? But each one of these are like little islands.
Oh, crazy.
What's that? What's going on there? Right? And they're kind of lined up here. This one, let's see. See how they go around?
Yeah, I mean,
What's going on there? That's supposed to be a picture of Zadovsky Island. Zavodsky, Zavad, Zavadovsky, Zavadovsky Island. Really? It kind of looks like it's all kind of prefab. I don't know, like it's man
right.
made.
Well, I mean, just like off the coast of Japan, they keep sinking stuff off there and building on top of it to get more land mass.
Yeah, that's some amazing shit. So I think we should move on to another cosmic planetary exploration
All
and
right.
go pick ourselves and something that geezers know all too well, and that is the moon because we're always either trying to jump over it or we're yelling at it. And while this loads up, oh, look at that. Isn't that nice? I'm going to go refill my beverage. I shall return. Is there, I haven't checked on the chat. Is anybody watching this shit?
Yeah, I mean, my Rumble still shows 14, and I don't know how many you have in your YouTube.
I got eight. There's 8 people watching this shit on YouTube. I guess we're not the only ones that don't have anything better to do there, G.
Yeah, we always say this is the place to come if you don't have anything better to do. We'll find something.
All right, well, I'm going to fill my glass. I'll be right back. Just let me know if there's anything in the chat.
All right, I'll just talk to everybody. Oh, look at that. I got 2 guitars showing up in Robert's place. Isn't that cool? Oh, Heidi's cutting roses. Awesome. So we got Pixie in here. We got Heidi Pop. We got Max Vision, Mary Wins, Chiro Sounds. We had Clay Conspiracy Music. He might be on his own show right now. I don't know if he's still in chat or not. Some weirdo called Midwest Night Watchers popped in. Then over on my Rumble, we had Apocrypha World Records. Oh, you decided just to dial in a picture of yourself?
Apparently that works. I didn't know that that was in there. So that's what it looks like when you don't want to show yourself. You can put your best glam shot up.
Oh, when you left, your two guitars popped in, not the cymbals or anything else, just the two bodies of the guitars popped in your seat.
Wow. So what do you think of the I kind of like their screening room here.
I do too. It's a nice presentation if you want to show stuff like Google Earth or a movie or a YouTube clip or something. It's kind of nice having a screen that you don't actually block with your images. And
Yeah, and it's kind of cool to have a little frame where it looks like you're sitting in the middle of some, screening room and you're casting judgment on
yeah.
whatever's on the screen. I'm not too sure about that. Those people look interesting and suspicious because there's a whole lot of that going on.
So that moonshot you have right there, it looks like there's little tiny cities lit up all over the moon.
Yeah, what's that stripe going on up there?
I don't know.
Where the hell am I? Here we go. I'm pushing the wrong fucking buttons. Hold on here. All right. Yeah, what's going on up there?
See, I like when you zoom in, all the little colors on the dots start coming in like they're like little cities or colonies. But it's obviously markers they put in there for something.
So this looks like some new data because it's a hell of a lot clearer than the rest of it.
Oh, maybe they're refreshing the map and they haven't done the whole thing yet. Yeah, look how clear that is. It's almost like a zoomed section, though. Wow.
Looks like somebody tore the film right there.
Yeah. They probably saw something right there. So, wait a minute, we got to stop. We got to figure out what to do with this.
Now let's see what the resolution is when we get down. If this gets any sharper. Don't look like it is. Perfectly round shit like that. That doesn't it make you go, hmm?
Yeah, that happens in nature all the time. This perfectly symmetrical.
Right angles, all those good things that we can't live without. That we are lost, and if we don't have them, what's this called? Fueli beer? What's going on there? Temujins?
How close will it let you get to the center of that any of those craters?
Well, let's pick the one that has beer in it. So we'll go see how deep we can
Oh,
go.
See, it looks like it's high definition until you get to this point. Now it just looks like it's just it's like, okay, we're not showing you anymore.
I'm surprised that we're getting this much resolution at this level, or this much to see at that level.
But look how clear that when you zoom back out though, look how clear the landscape is around that crater until you actually get into the crater. Like
Yeah.
that just makes it seem weird to me.
So this isn't an inside of a crater. This is a shadow of a crater. That's not a crater, that's a mound. You see
Ah,
that?
gotcha.
Do you see that?
Yep, I do see that. That is a shadow.
You know, these are all mounds. They're not craters.
See, they keep telling us that that's all the impacts. That's all I've ever heard is that those are the impacts.
Well, why isn't there a ridge around it? Why is there it's a ditch around it, not a ridge, right? You see that?
Yep.
And according to all the other shadows in the light direction, these are all experiencing the same thing. Those are shadows on the backside of their little knobbies. Their little knobbies. These are all fucking mounds. They aren't craters. Am I missing something here? Am I?
I I just assumed it was something they didn't want us to show, but because it seemed like it lost its clarity once you started getting down it, focusing on top of whatever it is. But then when you get like this, it seems like it's high def when you get out this far.
If you were an astronaut, you would you and if you were an astronaut, would you land here? The power lighting conditions. An image from 325 2008. What's going on down here? Why are you showing me this?
So little markers where they got
Oh,
articles.
sweet.
So Clay said he was just talking to a friend about Project Gateway the other day or today.
Mm. See, so now this looks like a crater with the light source coming from this direction, causing those shadows. You see that? Is that a crater or a mound?
Yeah.
It looks like a mound to me. There's a whole bunch of these little bastards. They're sprinkled around like moles or zits. I mean, look at
Yeah,
this.
what's up with that?
What's going on there? So it looks like this strip uh, is an update. At least the resolution is much more acceptable and interesting. Um, but why is it just that strip? I've seen much higher resolutions on the moon than that. What's going on here?
I know something don't seem right.
So my first impression is that all of that, all of those are mounds. They're not craters. It's all protrusions coming from the surface, coming up. And because there's no debris anywhere from, there's just a bunch of little holes or little things that have pushed up, pushed up here, pushed up there. You see what I'm saying? Or am I just
Yep.
completely?
No, I see it.
I'm going to make a move here, do this here. I'm going to stop sharing. Hold on a second. I need to move my shit around here because I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm going, wait a minute. I've already said that. What's going on here? I'm watching the feed instead of the stream. You know what happens when you're not watching your stream, right? Streams get crossed and things get wet, and you go, no, no, no. All right, so let me move this over here. Come on. Move this over here. Thank you very much. Move that over there as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Put this up here. And where's my share? Bring me the share. Share this. I
Bring
got
me
a
the
Shara for
Hassenpfeffer. Cook. Cook.
Let's see. So, yep. Oop. There I am on my back. Yep. And boy, Rumble sure apparently hasn't found out about us yet, G, because they just let us stream like there's no tomorrow.
I know. That's
Yeah.
nice of them.
Very nice of them. I find it's very accommodating and appreciative.
Not only can you use my studio for free, but we'll let you stream from other platforms to us. Who
Yeah,
does that?
right. How cool is that? So let's see, where am I and us? We are,
Looks like the moon has a bad case of psoriasis or something. I don't know what that is.
it looks like there's a bad pucker factor going on there or something. I don't know. It looks like a
Where's the face? I can't even
well,
see the face.
yeah, the face is over, wait a minute, over here.
Maybe you gotta be zoomed out a little further to see the face. It's
What
gotta
is
be
it?
somewhere in there, but turned the right way.
Look at this. It's got it. Look at that. There's a thing there, and there's a thing there.
Wow.
It looks like the moon's been skewered.
Do they have a north and south pole of the moon that have entrances to the middle, like the Earth?
This thing
Oh, it's got something written in the middle of that. What's it say?
looks like it came off of a stick. Cross 2009. What is this?
No picture.
Nada.
No nothing. Thanks for the information.
Lunar Prospector. 1999. You went there? Really? How come we haven't seen more about that? Nothing there. But, I mean, so you're telling me that's one side of the moon or one pole of the moon and this is the other?
I don't
There's
know.
these opposite uh, puncture orifice damage shit going on. Look at that. And then look at that. Excuse me. What's that? How come you got one over there? Did a pole go through you? Or did you come off of a stick? Was somebody hitting you and knocking you through the air and you bounced around and ended up poking yourself? I got
It
questions.
was probably one of those little rubber balls at the end of the paddle and the rubber band broke.
That's kind of trippy.
Did you find the face yet?
I didn't. Um, Hold on. Fascia. Oh, I think that's it. It's somewhere like that where that strip is.
Oh, maybe it doesn't have a face no more. Or we just don't know it.
Yeah, there's a lot of very interesting speculation that there's a whole graphic and visual holographic model and is covering the actual moon from us. So I kind of think, well,
Well,
I wouldn't put that past somebody if they could do it.
and when I was working, which wasn't that long ago, up till November, I would always look out my window and look for comets or, the moon would always be there, late at night or whatever on those nights. And one night on the way home, it was not the moon shape that I see every night. It was like an egg shaped. And the face of the moon that I normally see every night on the way home was not the face of the moon. I mean, it was distorted and didn't even look like the face. It looked like it was a completely different view of the moon.
Hmm.
It was weird. It was only just that one night.
Well, all kinds of amazing atmospheric anomalies. It's tough when the three words you're trying to put together all start with the same letter, and you got to check to make sure you're using them properly.
I think they're interchangeable.
Yeah. So the atmospheric anomaly thing has been a part of the narrative of, the excuse for decades. Swamp gas, lightning, some cloud, aurora borealis, birds, whatever it might be. I wonder how fast I can get her to spin. There you go.
Oh, look
And
at that.
place your bets.
You're gonna make the aliens throw up if you keep spinning it much faster.
Right. I think they're probably getting dizzy about now. All right, you guys, wake up in there. Come on. Come out and say
Wouldn't
hi.
that be weird if you're actually spinning it and they're actually spinning up there right now?
That
You
would
don't
be
know, but you're controlling their environment.
that would not only be weird, it'd be totally badass and cool.
There needs to be a movie like that. What the heck are they doing to us now?
Yeah, I think it would probably it would be like Men in Black, those aliens and shit, that dogs, and I mean, all the crazy ass aliens. They did a great job at that.
Those little guys that are smoking and drinking, having fun on a computer,
Yeah,
playing
little
playing.
worms. Where the fuck is it? Okay. Is that it? Yeah, there we are. All right.
So
So,
speaking of the aurora borealis,
hmm
this weekend we're supposed to have a really bad sunspot erupt. And then so it's supposed to go from Friday night all the way through Saturday into Sunday early morning that I mean, they said the southern states of the US are supposed to actually see the northern lights
hmm. Well,
or
there's
possible. Every time they tell us that, it never works out that way, but it's supposed to.
well, it's interesting how, all of these celestial events and the planets, the cosmos, the galaxies, the stars, and all that shit. They are all afoot. And when you see any kind of concentration of them, which is what gets the astrologers and the tarot readers and everybody's uh, pucker factor gets a little tighter because they're going, oh, there's some crazy shit going on here. This and when these things show up this time, so let's keep an eye on it. And it's I think the exact right thing to do, and it makes complete sense based on the available data. But it's also interesting how nothing ever really seems to happen. So there's that whole you've seen that meme where you and I we grew up with this back in the 70s. Ice age is coming.
Yeah.
The end of oil is near. This, I mean, it was one catastrophic thing after another that we were told was about to happen, and none of it did. And you go, well, okay, so your track record kind of is very questionable, if not totally suck. And how can you um, trust anything that you're going to put forth as a analyzed option, speculation of or whatever? So I might as well just use my own and other trusted sources that have a better track record of calling what may be coming. Because is there so much? I mean, Joe, you and I, we do shows, we talk to people. The amount of stuff that is on people's minds about what they think may happen, could happen because of this, that, the other thing, this combination of those and the lack of these. That it is one cacophony of catastrophic crap. And you go, well, none of y'all have been accurate so far. If you're doing a trends analysis, what directionally, where's this energy going? You can usually get a much better handle on what may be happening than the interpretation of everybody else telling you what they think is going on and where all the because they're all doing it with an agenda. All you want to do, your only agenda is you. You want to make sure you and those that you have responsibility or care or whatever for are navigating the best way through the shit that is about. And there's one dumpster fire after another, and but they're isolated little dumpster fires, and you can actually kind of navigate through them and around them if are paying attention. But the amount of bullshit, the fear porn, the fear poo of predictions is like, yeah, I can see
Right.
why it's been used for millennia. And in spite of its record, it's still used and trusted today because that's what everybody's getting is a carefully crafted, curated cacophony of crap to think about in ways that don't make any sense and put into the conversation to screw it all up. You can't have a conversation when all your data is wrong, or you're looking at something with incomplete information. But especially if you're looking at it with what you've been given to think about what it is that's going on and how you should think about it, that's when you kind of go, all right, that's the first break I'm going to put on because I have to make those decisions. I have to make that analysis myself. You don't do it for me. I'm more than happy to hear your speculation. I will use my discernment and my discrimination to make a judgment call on what I think your shit is. And if I
Right.
find it unworthy or I can't be attached to it, it doesn't resonate with me, then off you go. Fuck, you must off. Because
Ah,
you get to the point where you have to say, taking control of your own filter of the information and making your analysis and taking responsibility for your action on that information that you've analyzed, the rest of it's a hell of a lot easier. It's when you give that responsibility, whether you knowingly do or not, but you give over that administration of that to someone else, and you let them yank you around according to their view, their speculation. And that's just not a healthy thing for anybody,
Right.
because it eliminates you being you, and it gives more to that which is needs to be fixed on its own. It needs to be fixed. You're giving it more because you're not taking you and making sure you is the focus, not them. Then all of a sudden you go, I'm feeling a little liberated so far. I'm thinking I might like this kind of model. Let's see what else I can go find out about and get more information and analyze and process and go, it's a lot easier to think about all the shit to think about. What I don't think about the shit with all the shit that other people have put on what I'm thinking about. Because that's when it gets messy. It's when your system gets clogged, your framework and your filters get all out of calibration and full of crap and need to be cleaned and probably replaced if not calibrated. That then becomes a real easy thing to do. You don't have to think about anything else other than how it works. When you know that, then you go, I can see a lot of shit that's going on. And the shit that seems to have the most relevance and importance has been filtered out and is sitting over here for me to go examine and try to make sure I glean as much new information to the stack that exists. Then it's like, okay, now it's becoming a lot easier to sort the good, just to sort the shit from the shit that matters from the shit that don't, and being able to, and this could be completely self-delusioned, but it makes sense. But once you get to the shit and you sort the shit, and the shit is sorted according to your shit list, then everything becomes easier to manage because you use that as the fundamental thing. It's like everything needs to go through the shit list that's been sorted, and there's a natural filter now set up for this vibration of shit as it comes as you come about it and as you encounter it and you have to deal with it and you figure out is it good shit or bad shit, and then you make decisions accordingly. So I don't know why I got down that rant, but I think
I don't know.
I
You were
think I
you were
can.
talking about the ice age to the acid rain to the
Hmm,
global warming to whatever they got coming for us next. There's
yeah,
got to be something next.
all the fear triggers,
Yeah.
all of
You
the memes that have been used to make people confused, and through that confusion have doubt, and through that doubt have uncertainty, and out of that fear, because that's the FUD factor: fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
mean, what's weird is I watched a documentary about the 1800s that there was a little ice age happening in Europe where
Oh
they
yeah,
they missed the whole season or more of crops and because of the frozen ground and the below zero temperatures when it
and
should have been summer.
and the Thames River uh, froze over, and there's pictures as well as a bunch of drawings of people out there skating on it. It's like the river that thing doesn't freeze; it was frozen solid.
Then I saw something about that happened in New York City also, or the East Coast in the early 18 or 1900s, where they had a freak storm that came through and it dropped dramatically when it
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't have been. And everybody, I mean, that's when they had trolleys and horses and carts and they couldn't get nowhere and couldn't dig out and they were all stuck. And so, how do you explain that stuff in their little formula?
Well, and those are the kind of things that you we've done enough, had enough conversations, and done enough shows and where you know we talk about what is going on and kind of what is going on within the element of what's going on, because there's so much layers and nuances to the shit that is in the crafted crap that they're giving us to have a conversation about. So they've already screwed that up and polluted the shit out of it, making it unbelievably difficult to sort through it and find the nuggets that are the ones worth exploring and partaking of and being involved in. Which is why you and I do this, because we like doing this because it's fun, it's pleasant, it's kind of exciting, and in some cases it's the only thing you got left to do when you got nothing left to do, nothing better to do, right?
Yep.
So I think the whole thing that I was trying to get some kind of uh, cogent sentence out about was, um,
So you got on the shit show.
yeah, the shit list. So sorting the shit with your own pre-approved, regularly maintained, and properly calibrated shit list machine. That's your bullshit meter, and that's your first indicator of the stuff of the shit you're going to sort through. But you're gonna everybody has to sort through shit, and if you're not sorting your shit, then your shit's piling up, and then you're going to be in deep shit eventually. So
Yeah.
there's a whole.
You have to call the cosmic plumber to get you out of it.
That's right. You have to call that. What do they call it? Oh, it was a garbage truck company that I saw on there. They were purveyors of exotic salads. Was their tagline, and I went,
Ah,
"Yeah, I can see where.
ah.
Yeah, you're picking up shit. That is an exotic salad." So the earth and the moon and the stars and the heavens and the birds and the bees and the trees and all that stuff, all this in reality we inhabit, is it's bigger than we know, and we are, and it's smaller than we know at the same time, and we are smaller than we know and bigger than we know. And that sounds like it's contradictory, but it is the state of the being of the frequencies that we're in. This is totally my speculation. So when I look at all this shit that's going on, I'm thinking, okay, there's all these energies and things that are going off with different themes and memes and groups and concentrations and you know excitations of through nefarious and as well as known sources, and you kind of go, well, there's a lot of shit going on, and there's a lot of people at play. There's a lot of layers, there's a lot of nuance, and at the end of it, you can only take so much of it and make any sense out of it, and then you try to focus on the things that are the most important things that are relative to your sustenance, your sustainability, your pleasantness of stuff. Because any of the things that are in any of the catastrophism models, from earthquakes to CMEs to planetary, uh, the bolides and bodies bombarding us, those alone, just with the data we have caused dozens of extinction level events over the history that we've got that we know. There could be a CME and a solar flare tomorrow that would take out half of the system, half of the planet, all the systems, and it would be months before they could get back online. And the decay and all of the, really, the shrapnel, the collateral damage of that event will be all the chaos because all the systems that all the people need in order to function will not come online. They will have to fend for themselves. And that's where you can get that kind of zombie apocalypse kind of scenario. And that wouldn't have anything to do with any of the assholes and the idiots and the dark and the white and the gray people that are out running things right now and screwing it up. A comet, an asteroid could take one impact, just come out of nowhere. And apparently, we don't do a very good job of finding these because most of the recent ones in the last few years, they found only within a day or two or maybe a week before it was coming and making a close flyby.
Yeah. Then you hear it on the news. Oh, by the way, one just went by us last night, closest it's ever been.
right? What's that all about?
Did they just find out and decide to tell us, or did they just waited till they knew it was okay, then tell us?
Well, I think, part of it is you can't, with the amount of telemetry and people that are paying attention to the available telemetry, the data, the satellites, the light spectrums, the cameras, the satellites, the all of the telemetry that people are using with all the really cool toys that we've got, thanks to the grit model, there's more of that being captured than there ever has been, and that's just the beginning of that. So capturing more of what is actually going on is just going to, in orders of magnitude, increase. So at some point, and we've already had a lot of really good examples. It's just there hasn't been enough substantiation to a mass level that have helped people realize that that which you just saw is not from our planet. That is totally something else we don't have. But we got shit. And we'll show you some of our shit. We won't tell you it's our shit, but you'll see our shit pop up now and then. You'll see our shit ships pop up, screw with you guys' heads, let you get some pics, let you have some fun, get yourself all worked up, get your little conference together, and everybody go share their selfies with the aliens. And that's what they're doing, in my opinion. Because there's nothing new, but the new is coming. Because the telemetry and the data gathering that is now available and is engaged and going on is going to surface some really good shit. Now, Bruce Sees All is a YouTube channel. Um, Highly recommend. If you want to see the latest stuff, this guy's got a badass telescope. He spends his time focusing in and watching shit on the moon, and he's got some amazing stuff that you go, what was that? And isn't that what? Let me try to bring this home with this, or G. Isn't that why we're having this conversation? Is we want to we want to go see and have that experience of what was that, right?
That's right.
There's something about doing what was that that is a lot of fun. It's at least semi rewarding to the point where you go, well, I didn't have anything better to do. Right?
So are they still trying to build the elevator to the outer space or the moon or whatever they were saying they were going to do?
I think that there's a couple of things being talked about in that along those lines, but I haven't heard anything new myself.
Just take a leisurely weekend and get hop on the escalator and go into outer space and
I mean, there's some just really sweet stuff that um hold on a second here. Well, and while I'm thinking about it, I was just putting something in the chat. I forgot had another channel, which was me, and I wasn't talking in that chat. So thanks for the folks that are wasting your time with us this evening. We hope you are enjoying the entertainment of the Geezers Gone Global edition. We are out trying to figure out what is out there and seeing what we can use to go poke around on it. Come up with more questions, like we all need more of that, right? We all need more questions.
just like I think we talked about it before. I brought it up about the new airship that's supposed to hold 5,000 people and be able to stay in the air for over a month without refueling. I mean, and they named it after the Titanic. It's like Titanic 3 or something. It's like, really? That's a really good idea. I mean, the first Titanic worked out so well.
And you go, well, wait a minute. Did somebody actually stop and have a think about what it was that was going on there and do any trend analysis? Kind of if you think that what you've got laid out to go do is going to work, what do you project that if everything works, what do you think will happen? Because that's the whole thing that's the thing that most people don't realize is the innate, important, natural way in which we think and do our shit, but they don't think about doing it. It's not like, let me think about what I'm doing and kind of do a trend and do a prediction based on what I got here. Where do I think this is going to go? What are the variables that may involve? And all it is just thinking ahead, but it's thinking about ahead in the way of how am I going to know if this is going to work? Right? The only way you're going to know is back to the axiom of business, and that is if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. Right?
I mean, who's going to want to? I mean, I guess there's probably people that do it, just like the cruise ship people. But I mean, 5,000 people for a month, and that's, I mean, and you're not going anywhere else other than cruising around the globe. Oh, where are we going now?
We've gone to Google's sky, to the galaxy, the cosmos. So we can look around and what's
Yeah.
going to be just awesome is all of this data is mostly Hubble and a few of the other telescopes. But the James Webb, once that data gets plugged into something like this, it's going to be like playing a video game, just navigating through all the imagery and going, what the hell is this over here? But when you look at, oh, and that's one of the things that I got set up today. I finally got the conversation with Jeff Harmon, the astrologer, the Vedic astrologer, and we're going to do that this Saturday night after our regular Saturday show because
Oh,
that's the only time he's got. So we're going to have a little shorter show, probably in a couple hour range, and then I'm going to get on and do the show with Jeff. But Jeff, he's a Vedic astrologer, so all of these planetary alignments, all of these it's not just the planets, it's these stars
right,
and what they represent. You've got the zodiac positions, but you have there's the middle of the Milky Way, right?
right.
Supposedly. That's what I saw when I grew up on the Colorado River late at night. You could see that's how the sky looked right there. It was just phenomenal.
Ours here where we live isn't quite that clear, but we can still see the Milky Way.
Hmm.
Go to uh go to the Seven Sisters Palladian galaxy. The
I think I just saw that. It's down. There's Ophiuchus. Indus. There's Aquarius. Pisces. Where the hell I thought?
there's Orion.
Yep.
Let's see what they're showing us on the Seven Sisters.
Yep. Come back out here. Pleiades is. I thought it was right here. Actually, back there, but I'm spun around.
Go back to Orion. It's right above or right in Orion. So start zooming in, you'll see Pallades.
from 2007. Yeah, they got some updates doing here. I think I'm just gonna have to type it in because I'm not seeing it. It didn't find it. Why is that? It didn't even search, did it? No.
No, it didn't.
Let's try this again. Hmm. I'm not sure why
Not doing the search?
it's not doing the search. And how do I get rid of all this? I don't need to know the position of it. Well, how do I get rid of all that? Where is hmm. Turn off shit. Show sunlight. Yeah, that'd be funny. Show ruler. Nope. 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 No. No, I don't want that. Um, well, I'm not sure how to get rid of that because that's very annoying. Having the positioning is like, why? I can understand if you needed it to have have that information, if you were planning a trip there, perhaps. But why is that even on? Hmm. Okay, well that's pretty annoying. So let's go ahead and go check out our origins, our home planet. We were actually the Martians.
Who said that?
Well, the Sumerians said that. Babylonians said that. And uh where is
'Cause I
come
keep
on now.
hearing about the Orion Wars on how most of civilization came from the Pleiades, the Palladians.
Yeah, and then there's the whole Arcturians and the Dracos and all of that. And oh, there, so why you notice how the biggest canyon in the solar system is the Valles Marineris, which is looks like a gigantic scar across the surface. And it is just it looks like a Birkeland current. There's nothing in the geological or planetary cosmology that explains how that was formed. Clearly, it looks like it was hit by lightning. It's just like a Birkeland current.
Yeah.
And then you have all these legends of the wars in heaven. And whether it's the Anunnaki and their original seeding from a Palladian source, or their involvement in being some kind of hybrid of it, or it's, and it seems to be mostly a Palladian type orientation, but the Arcturians were involved. The Anunnaki were having, I don't know, some kind of hybrid thing maybe going on, but they were also had their own civilization shit. It's like, well, okay, all of that stuff sounds very interesting, potentially plausible. if not possible. But then you sit there and you go, "No, wait a minute. The answers that for all this stuff from the officialdom, the academic authoritarians, says that all that's bullshit, but they don't have any answers to the rest of the stuff.
Right.
But these stories that these folks have told, they do have answers for all this stuff. In fact, they explain exactly what we're seeing um, without any of the mathematical crap that you've conjured. Conjured crap.
Conjurism.
And conjuring is a very important part of the mystic arts. One must conjure that which you are contemplating. Does that look like a big belly button? Is it just me? It's interesting that there's these three are evenly spaced in a line.
Oh, maybe that matches the pyramids in Giza.
Oh, there you go. Correlation theory. But where's Valles Marineris, this ginormous fucking scar? Why aren't you guys showing that? Come
Oh,
on.
they had cosmetic surgery since then. It's that big white blob down at the bottom. What's that
That's the
about?
South Pole. And then it's got a North Pole too. Look at this. A little spiral action going on up here. What's going on?
I think Google's just taking each image and just copy and pasting it and changing the color and contrast of everything.
Hmm. They are definitely fucking with the pictures, that's for sure. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on here that it's like, yeah, okay, when you guys decide to not go in there and screw with it, let us know. We'll come back and take a look. So let's see what they do give us. Let's zoom into here and hmm. Yeah, that's not
Brown
helpful.
are the brown stripes are those updated images or something that they've added?
I would think so, yeah.
Just like they did the moon, that strip on the moon.
You know, this is showing, where's the date on this? It's not showing the date. So this is apparently done by the ESA, the European Space Agency, and the image
Uh,
credit is still NASA. Well, that just looks like some bombed region in Eastern Europe. I mean, right? I mean, it looks like,
yeah.
the Allies went in and dumped on that spot.
Oh, the Galactic Wars.
So these are clearly better resolution than this.
Now, are you going to see the same thing? Is it not actually craters, but mounds?
Well, the first thing I just noticed is it looks like, see how these kind of have a trajectory this way, like they came
Right.
in. Like there's a
Right.
so something. That's the first thing that I saw there. Is this a fucking pyramid? It looks like a half a goat face. What's going on here?
Yeah, that's an oddball compared to everything else. It's even got a center spot.
What's going on there? You notice how it's relatively smooth around, right?
Right.
But that looks like an eyeball. Eyelid there. There was a pupil.
Ah,
Baggy eye is underneath.
hmm.
I don't know. What's going on there? What's this shit?
I don't know.
That's weird. You see
Looks like an
this?
energy weapon charred the whole terrain.
It's exactly what I was thinking. Look at this. How there's these streams blowing off of here. This is a looks like an image that's been updated, or these have been blurred, right?
Right.
But that looks like the remnants of some blast, and it just smoked whatever was there, and that's what it left.
Is there any other black spots like that on the face anywhere else? That just stands out, don't it?
Yeah, not. It doesn't look like there's anything in this current strip. Um, but that looks like somebody went out and they went out to go test a munition. And the fucking thing went off while they were out in the test range.
Yeah. Oops.
It's like, oh, that's yeah. That's very interesting. I wonder, can I pin that? How do I pin? Pin. Yeah. Thank you. Um, hold on here. Um, yeah. Thank you very much.
Can you still see the face on Mars, or they totally blur and get rid of that?
Oh, I'm gonna use Macedonia. Yeah, it's not taking anything. What if I type it in to go search on the
That's weird.
in the search? But the fact that the that Valles Marineris is not on here, and I mean it's striking how it is so. It's the biggest. It's like 2,500 miles in length
Right.
and ginormous in the middle, and it's got all kinds of little branches and scoops and shit. But it ain't on here, which is really disappointing and sad that they wouldn't. They got all this other shit. What is this? So now those all look like pot marks.
What's the green thing in the middle?
Somebody went
That's,
hiking there, it looks like.
that's what it looks like. It looks like a
Oh, look at that.
yeah.
So when you want to go on your next vacation and trip to Bakusen Crater, we got some people that can hook you up.
Yeah, a little nature hike, go out for a stroll.
I mean, these look like pot marks. The others that we looked at look like blemishes, like they were, protrusions. But these all look like pot marks. Well, that's a big ass. See, now that looks like a plateau. That looks like a tree ring.
Oh,
I don't know. I could be smoking something, which I am. But what do you think about
what's
that
that?
right
What's
there?
that nice high definition little square right there at the bottom of it?
Right? Hold on a second.
Ah,
I'm gonna have to go to Mars to get this.
I mean, that just looks weirdly out of place for some reason. What the heck is that? What are they trying to
Well,
show us?
actually, it looks like a high resolution of just this section. You see how the edges, this all looks like it's contiguous,
Oh yeah. Yeah, I
right?
do see that. Yep. It does match with the contour and everything
But
that's going.
but for some reason there's clearly some runoff, some kind of spillage that's occurred, right?
That you don't see in the other definition.
No. Um, these all
Wow.
look like tree stumps. Come on.
Do they have a Paul Bunyan on Mars?
Hmm. So it's interesting that they've added these little card thingies taken by context camera CTC on board the reconnaissance orbiter. So these are all from the orbiter, which makes sense. Um, why are they taking pictures? Well, that's kind of weird looking,
That that looks like rings of a tree right there in that
right?
picture.
Right? Tell me I'm wrong. I'm ready to believe. Because I look at it and go, I don't know. The other thing that they look like is like drops of like mercury,
Yeah, I was gonna say almost like when you're soldering something and you get the little drips off the side.
right? Yeah.
That is weird.
I mean, does that look like a crater? These are raised edges.
Yeah. Yeah, how is that possible?
I mean, clearly there was a lot of incoming, a lot of bombardment. Um, so, I mean, anything that was there was going to get taken out eventually anyway, or at least be taken out to the point of there's not much of that left.
So if that's I mean, from that image, it looks pretty smooth, but everything else looks pockmarked everywhere. So how's come that doesn't have anything in the center of it that looks like a pockmark?
Right? What's going on there? And in fact, they're not pop marks, they're bulges. Those are
Yeah,
protrusions, right?
yeah,
Even the
right.
little ones here. Those are all protrusions. Light source is coming from this direction. Everything has the same shadow. But
Yeah, I don't get
but this, all this around in here, it's a cliff. It's an edge. It's raised.
Yep.
And I don't know about you, but I've seen a lot of tree stumps look just like that.
Ah,
Hmm.
that's nuts.
Schiaparelli. So So are you guys actually, so these are images that people have placed saying that, well, this one's NASA. So they're saying that this is a picture they took and this is the place where
The
they took the
location.
picture of, right? Because the resolution that we're seeing here is not this. This is much higher resolution.
Right.
And that's zoomed into that spot. So remember what that looks like. Let's dive in and see if we can find it looking like that on this.
Well, there's a little highlighted gray area right there.
And they got the higher res strip. Now look at that. It's a perfect bowl. Tell me that that's not the end of some dude's walking stick.
Yeah.
He's just traveling along and I mean, come on. That is that not perfect? Let's zoom into this a minute here. Okay, so what's wrong with that? Obviously, this side's broken, but this whole thing is consistently perfect.
Yeah. So it didn't come in from the side.
I'm telling you, it was the old man sticking that walking stick down in front of him, getting a grip, on to the next.
Yeah. On his way chopping down other trees.
So what is going on? Well, let's see what they've given us in the strip, and then we'll check out the pics. Well, this looks like a little some kind of infrastructure thing. Well, wait a minute. Let's see. So are these depressions to you or are they protrusions?
The majority of them look like protrusions. Almost everything on here looks protrusion to me.
Yeah.
There's just that one little circle that might be, I don't know, something different. Don't look like the rest of them.
This one here? Or no?
No, down almost on the left, right. You're just going right to the top of the screen with it. Right now, there's a circle. See it on the left side? Go over just a
Oh,
little, but
this
right
here?
there. Yeah, that looks different than the other ones.
Well, that is very interesting. I mean, that there's a pattern here. This is a pattern. This is completely smooth, right?
Right. Yes.
But then what? So why is this going on down here? Just by itself?
Looks like a washboard on a gravel road.
Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Well, look at this over here.
Oh, yeah. The heck is that?
What the fuck is going on there? So let's check this out here.
Why is there different shades of
Right? Yeah.
clarity on this strip?
So there's something directionally, it's all pretty much the same. So there's something that caused, at least from these images, a fracturing or calving in some ways across the surfaces of these.
That one is going the opposite direction though.
Which one?
The one right in lower left hand, a big wide swipe going almost like east to west or whatever, however you want to say it.
This one here?
No, the one that you were just had your right, that one.
This one
It's
here.
going a different direction than all the other ones.
Well, these are coming down this way. These are coming down with a little bit more of an angle. These are coming down in that general direction. These are striations are going in that kind of direction.
Well,
This
I'm
one's
thinking
kind
of
of, what's
where
that?
it's wide and goes narrow down to a little point.
Right here?
But yeah, but the other one, like right above it, over to the right from that one,
Oh, this one here.
it's wide on the opposite side, going narrow the other way.
Yeah. And there's some kind of, what's this going on right here?
Yeah, what's that? Well, that looks like my coffee cup stain on a table.
Look at this.
Oh,
What is going on there? Please tell me it was the bowl I just smoked.
I haven't had nothing, and I'm seeing it.
What is that?
That looks like microbes under a microscope.
That is some bizarre stuff right there. Look at
Maybe
all the
that's the
different look at the different ways in which the patterns are all like this. Whoa.
doesn't it look like a giant worm or caterpillar?
Yeah, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
That's crazy.
What is going on there? There's even like a texture and kind of like a scale.
Looks like scales or really dried skin.
Whoa.
That just doesn't make sense. Why is that area so different than all the others?
And what made it look like that? I mean, look at this right here. Look at these ridges, these look like tentacles coming out are everywhere. You see that? Even in
So I
this.
said maybe it's petrified creatures from Mars or something. I don't know.
That's a pretty sweet zoom. Of course they'd let you, well, not of course, but
So is
zoom
that
in on the
is that
crazy.
actually like a mountain range?
I don't know.
Because it almost looks like it has depth to it to that gray area right
Mm-hmm.
there.
Yeah. But it's all these like tentacles or
Yeah,
fibers or something.
whatever it is.
There's a distinct region of that and a distinct region of scale. And it's in a form. Um, wow. That looks like it was a totally organic creature thing that uh, that's that's either all that was left of it or it was in the process of, ooh, let's go see what's going on up here. It was in the process of morphing and then it stopped and it froze right there. But look at this. This is all some that's like a skin. Do you see that?
Yep. That one you got your thing on looks like it's got two tentacles or horns out the top of it.
Right?
Some feelers or pinchers or something. That's weird.
So it breaks down from um
And it's real heavy. starting there, then the more to the left you go, the less and less it gets.
Well, this looks like some kind of appendage kind of underneath, and it's like it whatever the skin was, it just kept deteriorating or just dissolving to where the internal structure was left, and this is wherever the head or the uh
Oh,
right where wherever its existence and thought occurred was somewhere up there in the lead. But it's interesting how it does all that, then it gets to here and it stops
and like I said, if you go to
right
the
in front of the circle,
wow,
right?
yep, maybe that's where they crushed its head.
Maybe that was the hole that this thing went to go live in, but it got
Oh,
stopped before it could get in the hole, and the hole was filled since then,
oh yeah, like the movie Tremors.
right? I mean, look at that. That thing is heading right for that hole. I don't know.
Is there any other ones that look like it's going towards a hole? Any of those other
Hey,
shapes? Or maybe that's the main hole that they're all trying to get to.
everybody wants to get to the hole. To the hole. um, what's this up here? There's another round thingy. Yeah, kind of a couple of them. Looks like the same kind of structure. There's another kind of whoops. Another kind of round thingy going on there. But what do you think?
Wow,
Coming
that's
into the
crazy.
hole? See that little face right there?
Yep.
First thing I saw was that eye. It looks like he's just looking straight at you. Just that perfect little light. Oh, nice.
Drag down that big section at the top a little bit. Right there. Look how big that is compared to the other ones.
Yeah, this one here.
Look at that. Yeah.
Well, and look at the oh,
Ooh, what's that right in the middle of that circle in between those two? Right there, right where
right
you're,
here.
yeah, go up a little bit. Looks like there's a big mound with a weird face in it or something.
Oh, up here.
No, no, go down where you were. Right there, that thing. What is that?
See an eye socket there.
Yep, a
Erosion,
mouth,
mouth.
and
Yeah, looks like um, Planet of the Apes went to lens crafters.
uh,
But look at these. I mean, this kind
yeah,
of
you
pattern
got all that activity or all that different texture, and all of a sudden it's just smooth.
makes you go home. See here.
I don't know. Beats the heck out of me what it is.
Well, when I look at shit like this, it's like, okay, there's clearly a lot of questions that all of this stuff raises simply because you look at it and go, well, I don't know what the hell that is. That looks kind of interesting and suspicious. And at a minimum, whatever you're telling us or not telling us about it leaves it open for anybody. It's a speculation, which everything is anyway.
Right.
So yeah, this so
Wait, what's that? What's up at the top? Or is that blue section? What's
up here.
yeah, what's that? It's got some blue in it or something or gray.
See, so look at this. This is an example of a Birkeland current. So there's clearly edges, right?
Yep.
And it sporadically has these structures in it.
So is that where a water or something was flowing?
There was some kind of liquid, probably water, flowing there, but it was originally carved by an electrical strike. This wasn't carved by water. Water didn't make this. Water took advantage of it, but it was made by a plasma strike. It's
So you think that's how our Grand Canyon came about?
yes, I do. I think that that whole thing happened from a interplanetary effect. I'm leaning more and more towards
Because there's no
the 12th planet and Sitchin's interpretation and the whole Nibiru thing, and I think that there's probably a better chance of that actually being an answer to a lot of the cosmology, the asteroid belt, the emergence of Venus. No, Venus all of a sudden showed up in the solar system one day, many millennia ago, but it's documented. The moon is clearly not natural, and it's not from anything else other than somebody putting it there.
yeah.
Period. It is the perfect observational and way station. Uh, I mean, if you were if we decided we wanted to do or had the opportunity to do what has been recorded in our history, that people up there came down here, told us, taught us, showed us, and probably manipulated it to minimum and probably made us, they all say the same thing, even in the theologies. It's all somebody up there went, and out we came. It's like, okay, all right, yeah.
Then if it's not, well, it's got to be, I don't know. If the moon is not an object in the sky that naturally occurred, you know, why did NASA say it rang like a bell after that they launched that rocket or whatever hit it?
Well, there was from the one of the Apollo missions, but um, the the fact that it is inhabited, most likely by at a minimum our guardians and most likely our progenitors, explains a boatload of things, and it makes complete sense with the observations that we have. Because you look at it and you go, I think the there's nothing that anybody has said about the moon that makes any sense. And if you go down the path of, well, it's because it's not natural, it's inhabited, it's been put there to monitor us. And that's one of the big reveals that's about to happen is people are going to go, you mean they've been here the whole time watching us from the moon? Like, yeah, it's kind of how it works. Because I mean, it's perfect from a strategy perspective. Like I said, if we had the opportunity to do that, we'd probably do it the same way. And there's legends and stories about tribes and cultures recording, watching the moon towed into being towed into place.
Right. Hmm.
I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to lean their direction until somebody can give me a different one that makes as much sense.
So have you ever heard the story of how our sun is actually a portal and it connects to all the other suns around the galaxy and the universe?
The Sun Portal Network. Yeah.
So I mean that would be easy to take something like the moon through a portal right there in our galaxy, out pop it out the sun and put her in place.
Well, there's the whole other aspect of um,
Oh man, we're missing some states. Oh, there they are.
yeah.
For a second, you only had the 13 colonies.
How did that happen? So um, the idea of being able to get access to and have your way, if you will, with the data that's available has never been more awesome than it is now because there's more access to more information than there has ever been at any given time that we know of. And we're not even talking the Akashic records. Throw that in, and everybody's going to have, a heyday. But the data that is available that um, you can go and snarf yourself. You can go check it out, see how it resonates, what's there for you to even go, well, that looks like it's worth checking out. And what's really interesting is all the stuff that you were told was the crazy shit is now turning out to be the shit that was right. And there's a whole lot of hand waving and ringing and head shaking. People going, well, just because you were right 10 years ago doesn't mean you were right. And I was like, yeah, right. Why didn't you tell me about this? I did tell you about this. You weren't listening.
Right.
I mean, the ranges of um, the responses to those that are in that state of, holy shit, the tinfoil dude was on it, right?
Yep.
So there's a lot of that going on, which is good. It's healthy. It's needed.
How come we don't have Google Ocean? What the heck?
I know that, in fact, there was one time they've probably removed this. There was one time, and I've got a picture. It's in one of my Facebook albums, and I did a deep dive up here off the coast. Yeah, yes, and I found these pyramids. I mean,
Oh,
obelisks, not just pyramids.
okay.
Um, Standing right off the floor. This looks like it could be it. I mean, so this is the northeast Atlantic off the coast of North America. Should be like Maine. Yeah.
So you're
So
not up in Nova Scotia?
no, this is down. It was down in here. What is this? No. It let you go to the ocean floor. So let's just see if we can go in here. First of all, look at that detail.
Yeah.
I mean, that's some serious detailage. All right, so let's dig on down in here. What's this scoop of? Look at that. Does it look like a
Yeah.
scoop went across there?
Yeah. Yeah. Something made that. What the heck is that? Looks like Chinese or something written on the.
Right? Well, let's go under water here and see what happens. See here.
But can you stay at that level and just drag it around wherever you want,
Well, I can't see.
where you're at?
Yeah, I have to. There we go. I have to get out back here. There was lost in the.
Oh, what's that?
What's going on there?
Yeah. I think that's our new tagline. What's going on there? That's weird.
There's something going
What's it
on there.
what's it look like if you go all the way down in? Will it let you go all the way in?
Let's see.
Or does it magically disappear? Yeah, they kind of start losing the definition, don't we?
Yeah. Let's see here. So we should be able to look up and see the water. Yeah. So what the fuck is going on there? Some weird shit going on right there. Do you think?
Yep. Now, is the app a different view than the online?
I don't know. I'm using the online. Well, actually, no. I'm using the app on my desktop. Yeah.
So I wonder what the difference of the online compared to the app.
What the hell's going on here? Well, that looks like there's something going on there. What do you think?
Yep. Yeah, so you got vertical and horizontal going on right there, all in that one picture.
And clearly a an end to it.
Wow.
Something did that.
That almost looks similar to the serrations and stuff that we saw on Mars, only underwater,
Mm.
where it went from wide to skinny to a point.
Yeah, and look at this line here. You see that?
Yep.
It's faint, but this almost looks like kind of a crowbar thingy, but straight as an arrow.
Yes, it is. Ooh, back to those things again.
And these are crispy. Oh, there's another straight line just popping out of nowhere.
Hmm.
Pattern recognition is the shit. So when you can recognize patterns, you can go, I think I see some shit.
Ooh, what's that yellow writing on that other one? Over to your left. What
Bermuda?
is that? Oh, is that Bermuda?
Yeah. Uh, Are we gonna get a street view of Bermuda? Oh, are you kidding me? Hold on here.
Oh,
So you want to see what it looks like in Bermuda?
yeah.
Oh, on here. Looks kind of interesting. What's going on here? Ah,
Oh, it's there. Sure didn't look like that in the other view.
no, it took us a minute, didn't it? Yeah,
That's because you're going backwards. So if you
yeah.
go forward, it has a hard time. It has a hard time, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's working on it. But when you think about it, though, it's what it's doing is processing and accessing the data that that was fed into it, and it's doing a pretty decent job for saying, "All right, you want to see what this actually? What's the date on this? From June of 2015. So yeah, it's getting close to 10 years. It might be pretty much the same. Let's get out of the street view. There's a Coney Island in Bermuda. What?
What? They have a Nathan's?
Looks like it's just that's what well, what is going on here? Is that all people and shit? That's just
It's a
rocks.
big boat.
Yeah. All right. So Coney Island's just a little what they named their little putsy part here.
Yeah, but go on that blue dot that actually says Coney Island, though.
What?
Go back to that, and there's a little blue dot right there. Zoom in on that little dot, that blue dot, see if it changes to anything else. Keep going down in.
Well, it looks kind of cool. I'd do that. So that's like kind of a lagoon pond kind of thing going on there. Let's zoom in here and see what.
It's a big white building, whatever the heck those are.
Yeah, and this is the same image. This is from the fucking 1985. This, let's see. And so that's supposed to be that's the same one we were just looking at.
Yeah.
I moved it up. Oh, see, the truck's not there in 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's the truck.
Hmm.
Stone, what do you want? I'm on line. You have to hang. So that's kind of interesting. That let's go back here. Yeah, it looks like all this is basically the same
Yep.
over the last 5 years. Looks like a lot of very comfortable living could be had around there, right?
Right.
Because it's not like there's a lot of, well, it is Bermuda, but um, the occasional hurricane coming in through there, that's
Oh
just,
yeah.
that's just part of what you got to know that you're going to deal with if you're going to go live there. But it is on the rarer side of happening. Otherwise, that thing would have been gone a long time ago,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. Exactly.
So down here, down in here, about 2,000 feet below the surface, is the ancient metropolis that Paula Zelensky found back in 2001.
Oh.
She was contracted by Castro and to go look for Spanish galleons and shit around the island. And she got in right in this area. They're not going to show it on this because they've banned it all over the place. The Cuban government and archaeologists are like, there can't be a fully formed pyramidal, megalopolis 2,500 feet down under the water. There's just no way. She's got sonar images and just documented the shit out of it. And you go, okay, well, y'all want to try to explain that to us? How's that fit into your timeline?
I see in your chat, Mary Wins is talking about the alien base discovered 6 miles out from California. It says that you can't find it no more.
Oh yeah, the one that it looks like a shelf, and there's like three or four entrances into that shelf. Jane says Mars B and B.
Yeah.
Hey Pixie,
Man, we've been going 3.5 hours.
are you shitting me? No, I got. Yeah, we started around 7:30. Mine, right?
Yep.
So we've been going 3 hours. Yeah, I guess. Damn, time flies when you're having too much fun. And all of the streams seem to be working just fine.
Yep. They're hanging in there. They're all doing good.
Well, I'm thinking that we might want to take the win while we got it.
That's right. Go out on a high note.
Go out on a high note and find the highest note you can note. But so we got a Zoom, um, new studio, and share session tonight as the geezers go global. So it's not bad at all, huh?
Pretty cool. Little globe trekking, little outer space.
There's nothing like flying around the cosmos and going, what the hell is going on out here?
The geezer's guide to hitchhiking the galaxy.
The Geezer's Guide to the Galaxy. Yeah, I think that we might be able to get some mileage out of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this went really well, considering all the considerables.
I like the format of the movie theater projection behind us and be able to manipulate it and
I think it does a nice job of the share. You know, we didn't try any audio, which we'll try next time we fire this up. But for doing a s- you know screening a screen, it does a real nice job of putting it up there and making it work. It looks sweet. Well, there you go. That is as a geezer geek with white old man privilege, I declare this the awesomeness place of the world, and from which the wonderfulness will go forth.
that's right.
Because there's a lot of good stuff in there and a lot of good stuff come from it. But as a whole within a whole, it is where the most can possibly come across come from across a wide range of stuff. All the things that need to change, putting out the dumpster fires and everything else that needs to be dealt with, and then all the cool shit on the other side. This is it. This is where it's going to come from.
Yep,
So it's great to be in the place where the shit comes from.
that's right. And we can spew our geezer golden nuggets.
That's right. You can geese on the nuggets. Oh, that's terrible. Well, I can't believe it's been over 3 hours. Shit, I was thinking maybe two. So we might as well bid adieu to any of the fortunate and unfortunate souls who have stumbled into this stream of consciousness because they didn't have anything better to do. Thank you for coming and enjoying and commenting and suggestions and all that stuff. It's kind of
Yeah,
fun when we don't know where we're going and you help us along.
we had a good crowd tonight. A lot of people stayed with us, and I'm surprised.
Yeah. We're always surprised when somebody sticks around.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's very nice. So thanks everyone, Pixie, everybody, Jane, all you awesome folks that came in and hopefully enjoyed some of the geezer geeking around the global stuff, the globe and the planets. All things that are round, they may be flat, but most likely they're round. So thanks again, G. This has been great. Another fun time to go out here and poke around on the planet. We're gonna do Saturday night, right?
yep, Saturday night.
All
See
right.
who all will join us.
Well, let me know what the theme is when you figure it out, so I can kind of remember it or think about it when I get on.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we've discussed about having Clay come back and we each get 3 tracks to talk about music. If we still want to go
Yeah,
down the track or if we want to do something completely different.
yeah.
Who knows? Well, maybe we'll decide by Friday night or Saturday morning.
or just before we go live.
Yeah. Now for something completely different.
Yeah, have some of this. Make sure if you get any on you, you wipe it off immediately with soap and water.
Well, look at that. You got Joyce just popped in and said good night.
Welcome, Joyce. Geek again soon. Nice. Thank you, my dear. All right, my friend. Well, let's call it a wrap and stick a needle in it.
Yeah.
Let the air out. All right. Well, I'll stop the stream and I'll see you on the green room here right after.
All
Thanks
right.
again, everybody, for coming and enjoying it, and or at least putting up with it. And we'll see you Saturday night, because Saturday night's the next time we light it up to see what's going on.
That's right. Bring some more geezers with us, hopefully.
You never know. You know, the one thing that we don't have any lack of is geezers. All right. All right.
All
Take
right.
care. Have a good one. See you in a couple of days. Take care.